Hey, what's going on? This is Jerome. Just wanted to make a quick video just to share some of my thoughts on things that have been coming through on YouTube about sleep apnea and tinnitus. First of all, who am I? My name is Jerome Spearman. I'm a medically retired Army Nurse Corps officer. I'm also the owner and founder of Open Ranks Nurse Consulting Services, where you are your best and only advocate. So in this video, I want to talk about three calls that I got today. Two of them were from active duty service members, and another one was from a veteran. And they said, "Hey, Spearman, I don't know what's going on with the rating criteria changes that may be coming down the pike. I'm real nervous. I'm very anxious about this." And in talking with them, you could just see and hear the anxiety of, oh, are they going to pull away my existing sleep apnea rating? That's 50%. Oh, are they going to pull away my 10% tinnitus rating? Or, oh, I'm about to get off active duty. I'm in the middle of it. And if they make the changes, if I'm in the middle of getting off active duty, like, what's that going to do for me and my family? And I just want to first speak to that fear and acknowledge that, yes, that is a very extremely valid concern and a very valid fear, because we don't know. We don't know. We don't have the crystal ball. We don't know what may be coming down the pike. But it does get me a little bit um, pissed off when I get these calls from these veterans and active duty service members, and they're anxious because of the videos that they have seen. Now, let me talk to my veteran YouTube communities and these influencers. We all have watched all the videos and we know who the YouTube veteran VA disability influencers are. I'm speaking directly to you. As a nurse, I have seen the impact of anxiety and PTSD in the hospitals. I've dealt with that. You, with the information that you're putting out, thank you so much for letting us know of all the changes that are coming out so this way we can be prepared. But you are causing some of the anxiety that might be going on within the community. I got these calls, and if I could have recorded it, I would have, and just played it, just to let you guys know what the impact of what you're doing and what you're saying, the impact that it has on people's lives. When you shut that camera off and you go into edit mode, there's people who are trying to decipher and edit what's going on in their lives. So you have a charge as a YouTube influencer, as a YouTube community that's speaking to veterans about VA disability, to give them hope. So I'm putting you on notice right now. If you continue to spread fear and spread anxiety and doubt on my channel, I'm spreading nothing but inspiration. I'm spreading nothing but motivation. The more you do it, the more I do. And I'm gonna outdo you. Because we do not need more anxiety in a population that perhaps is dealing with anxiety, and we are contributing, and we should not be doing that to each other. You are charged as YouTube influencers, as YouTubers, to balance the act, put the information out, but also give them a course of action. So that's what I'm going to do. Since you're not doing it, that's what I'm going to do. To my service members and veterans, let's talk about the locus of control. When I was getting off active duty and I was going through my little anxiety and separation anxiety, I had an old school first sergeant who pulled me to the side. He came out of the Army. He said, "Hey man, listen, What can you deal with that's inside of your locus of control? You cannot control what's going to happen next. You just have to. As warriors, we plan, do, and act. So that's what I'm going to do in this particular case. For the information that we're putting out, yes, there are some pending changes, or maybe some pending changes that are maybe coming down the pike. But there are 3 things that you could do as warriors, not as worriers, as warriors. There are 3 things that you could do to set yourself up for success. The first thing that you could do is write a letter to your congressman, letting them know what sleep apnea and tinnitus is and how it impacts you and why you believe it should remain a standalone rating criteria. The second thing that you could do is if you're concerned about all the changes, you can file an intent to file. Do the research, figure it out, right? The VA lays it out for us, but you can file an intent to file to protect the date. So this way, if there's anything that happens, at least you're protected. But to go down this path of, oh, well, they're going to pull your rating away, I guarantee it. You can't guarantee anything. You don't know if they will. So the fact is, we need to be able to protect and advocate for ourselves. Write a letter, do an intent to file. And the last thing that we can do is go through your medical records and scrub those missing diagnoses. Now, I don't know how that happens. I don't know how we have so many veterans out here who have missed diagnoses when they went through the VA disability process and things were just skipped from the medical records and were not claimed. So go through your medical records and begin to put the documentation in place. In the event that the ratings do change, at least you are working on something. Begin to think outside the box. Now, I'm going to read something. I was listening to a podcast today. Speaking of podcasts, we will have our podcast starting February 14th, 2024 on Valentine's Day. We're coming up with an Open Ranks podcast. But I was listening to a podcast today. I think it was David Goggins, and he said, fear, and I'm going to leave you with this, fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of an imagination. It is a product of our imagination causing us to fear things that do not at present or may not ever exist. This video's gotten way too long, but I wanted to at least put out and take a stand and say no more. We are not dealing with the fear and doubt and the spreading of the fear and doubt in this community again. We have to change. This is a new year. And on my channel, I'm promoting that change. Peace.